What's going on, Laker fans? Good evening on this Friday night. Thank you for being a part of the show. Another L for the Lakers, Laker fans. Another L for the Lakers. Let me kind of let some people jump on in here as we get the post-game show after the post-game show started. 130 to 116. The Utah freaking Jazz all over the Lakers. And I mean all over the Lakers. I know at one point we thought, hey, maybe this is a game, but the reality is Utah dominated the Lakers. All right, appreciate you guys being a part of the show. Let's get the show started. 130-116, the final score. A couple things I want to do in tonight's show. First off, I mean, doesn't it just change the mood when you get your ass kicked in a game? Because I feel like the Lakers did tonight. We'll talk about the Lakers' defense. Really, what I mean is that there was no defense. LeBron these last couple of games, he has not looked good. We'll do that. There was MVP chance for Russell Westbrook at Crypto.com Arena. How quick did things just change around there? AD, kind of quiet, you know. His numbers just didn't really... You see numbers, but you didn't really feel his presence at all. And I'll look at the upcoming schedule for the Lakers. So let's do a little bit of that. Somebody's asking, what are we drinking tonight? You know, it's a good question. That might be the best question I get all night. Granted, I probably won't have a drink tonight. Tomorrow, different story. Today, by the time I get home, it's already midnight. Okay, Lake fans, let's just start with this. If there's one thing that we could kind of put our... If I said, hey, give me a description of the Lakers so far this year. Give me a description of the Lakers so far this year. One way we could describe them is, I think they play pretty good defense. They're actually a pretty good defensive team, the Lakers are. So that I'm sold on that piece. I'm sold that I think like the Lakers, they kind of take the personality of their coach. Darvin Ham is a no nonsense. You better play defense if you want to stay on the floor. And that's what I think the Lakers have been so far this year. End of the first quarter. Do you know how many points the Utah Jazz put up at the end of one quarter on the Los Angeles Lakers? Laker fans, they dropped 40 on the Lakers in the first quarter. They dropped 35 on the Lakers in the second quarter. They had 75 points at halftime. So I do my, I do an update, like a 1-minute update right after the first quarter ends. And, it's 40 to 34, I think is the score. Both teams are shooting over 50% from the field and everything else. I'm like, damn, well, okay, can we get some stops here? The answer in the second half was no, they can't. 75 points in the first half the Lakers gave up. That right there, Laker fans. They only had one quarter where they gave up less than 30 points. It was that third quarter they gave up 25 points. Fourth quarter they gave up another 30. Just that right out the gate, Laker fans. That's a wrap. You're not winning games giving up 130 points, especially to the Utah Jazz. I'll talk about Utah in a second because I was actually incredibly impressed with how they play basketball. There's actually some beauty in the way they were playing basketball, but I'll do that a little bit later. You're not going to win games giving up 130 points. So I could sit here and I could talk about different players on offense and Bron's got to shoot more efficiently, and all that is not a lie. It's true. That is 100% true. However, if you give up 130 points, you're not going to win many basketball games in the NBA. So that one area that we would take pride in for the Los Angeles Lakers, that we would sit back and we would talk about and say, hey, at least the Lakers can play defense. They got their you-know-what kicked today when it came to getting some stops and playing a little bit of defense, because defense was definitely not a priority for the Lakers tonight. That definitely wasn't their strong suit. So put that one to the side because the Lakers most definitely defensively were not there tonight. That's how you lost the game, period. So whatever we want to pile on top of it, that's how they lost their game. A lot of people want to get into LeBron. I'm going to get LeBron in just a second. I'm not saying that the Lakers overlooked the Utah Jazz. I'm not saying that because Utah did start out the season 6-3. Actually had a game against Dallas in their last game where they had a chance to beat the Utah Jazz, or they had the chance to beat Dallas. Ended up losing that game by 3. They could easily have one of the best records in the NBA. They do. I mean, theoretically, they do. They're 7-3 right now. Of all the teams in the NBA, let's see how many teams have 3 losses. There's a pretty decent. Let's put it this way: they have the 5th best record in the NBA right now to the Utah Jazz. I've got a chance. I got the league pass, so every once in a while, I think Utah was playing the Memphis Grizzlies. I watched one of those games. That ball just freaking moves. Great team basketball. When you don't have a superstar, sometimes I think you could even become more dangerous just because you don't know who's going to shoot the ball. Lauri Markkanen is their best player, and he was great tonight for them. But Jordan Clarkson could get going. Mike Conley could get going. Kelly Olynyk looks – I don't know who the hell Kelly Olynyk was, but Kelly Olynyk looks fantastic. He hit 3 threes. Markkanen hit 3 threes. Conley hit a couple. Jordan Clarkson had a couple. Colin Sexton dropped 17. They played fantastic team basketball. So I was impressed. It wasn't like the Utah Jazz were 3-7 and just got lucky one night. They're 7-3 and they're playing good basketball. So give them credit. They play. There are a lot of times where I'm just sitting there like, damn, I wish we moved the ball like that, or I wish it was that easy for us. Now, granted, again, they played really, really well. Maybe this is a Utah Jazz team that's going to hang around when no one thought. You know, they got, for Donovan Mitchell when they traded him, they got Lauri Markkanen, they got Colin Sexton, and I think they got 3 draft picks. I want to say all 3 first-rounders. They traded Rudy Gobert. They got 5 first-rounders. So they got 8 draft picks, and they're still playing good basketball, which is kind of crazy to me. Okay, let me read a couple of these. How was the league pass, Alan? Okay, if you don't have the league pass, I'm just going to tell you guys something. They're doing like a special right now, so I bought it. It was $99. It was $100 for every freaking NBA game. So I don't know how you guys are, but I love the NBA, so I bought it. It's like, I think streaming only, but you literally get every single NBA game. So something to keep in mind. Okay, Russ or Braun? Who do you want me to talk about? Russ or Braun? First 1 to 5 here. First 1 to 5. Russ or Braun? Your call. Russ has got 2. 2-1. 3-1. 4-1. Russ dominating here. Someone wants Colin Sexton. All right, 5. All right, we'll go Russ, then we'll go Braun. Oh, the Brauns are coming in now. Guys, where the hell were you guys? Gotta be quicker. Gotta be quicker. Who put Colin Sexton? You want me to talk about Colin Sexton? I said Russ or Braun. Somebody types in Colin Sexton. What are we doing here? Somebody put none. What the hell's going on here? Okay, let's go. Let's go Russ real quick. So Russ in his last, since he started coming off the bench, we'll get to Braun, don't worry. Since Russ started coming off the bench, I mean, his numbers really, truly are really, really good, and they're only getting better. I mean, if I just look at tonight alone, this is one of the best nights I've seen Russ offensively for the Lakers. He was 9 of 14 from the field, hit 3 threes, only took 5, 7 of 7 from the free throw line, 28 points and 6 assists for Russell Westbrook tonight. He was one of the shining moments. Laker fans, let me try to figure this one out here. Russ was at the free throw line. I think this was in the 3rd quarter. And the crowd started chanting MVP with Russ at the free throw line. First off, let me just say, we use that MVP chant so casually. It is losing its thunder because you can't be 2-6 and be chanting MVP for Russell Westbrook. Now, it probably felt good for him, so it is what it is, but I just think that's kind of funny that Laker fans were chanting MVP for Russ. It was literally a week ago that everyone was screaming for Russ to go, and Russ obviously, he's had some good moments for the Lakers coming off the bench. So I want to give that dude the credit. The problem is, when you come off a loss, it's tough to highlight him because it was a loss, right? I had somebody call on the post-game show number 1. This is now post-game show number 2. I had some fan call in and say, no, it was good that he got the MVP chance because it's good for him mentally. That's fine. I mean, whatever you guys want to do. I just want to see Russ continue to thrive off the bench, and I think he's done a good job so far. Like, literally, I mean, if you would have told me he's coming off the bench and this is how he's performing, I couldn't have asked. You literally cannot ask for anything more from Russ. You just wish it was coming off a W so then we could highlight Russ more. But Russ had a nice game tonight. The Lakers just couldn't get a defensive stop if their life depended on it. Literally could not get a stop at all. Let's see what else we got here. A lot of people talking about how good the Jazz look tonight. Listen, I think a lot of Laker fans are coming in tonight saying, what the hell, the Utah Jazz? How is this team playing so well? Lakers got the Utah Jazz coming up here in another, what is it, a day or 2.5 days. They're going to be in Utah. So they go Sunday, Cleveland, and then Monday at the Utah Jazz. Jazz are loaded. Jazz are balling. We'll see if they can sustain it. You know, more teams are going to start thinking of them as, okay, we got to be prepared for them. We got to be right. But they're just really, really well coached, played good basketball. Give them their credit. Jazz actually run an offense. Okay, let's talk LeBron James. Let me throw some numbers here on LeBron James. 7 of 19 from the field, 0 of 5 from the three-point line, 17 points tonight. Did have 8 assists, did have 11 rebounds, 3 turnovers as well. Bron, 17, 8, and 11. Really inefficient from the field. Obviously, you did not feel his presence. A lot of his shots around the basket, maybe trying to draw fouls, not getting any lift on his shot. Darvin Ham said he's had basically, I think, a stomach flu these last couple of days. So I'm going to wait for LeBron to feel right. He said he feels like he should be right by the next game. And if he is, then the hope is LeBron James goes back to being LeBron James. But these last 2 games for the Lakers, I just gave you the stats in this game against the Jazz. The Pelicans, he was 9 of 23, 0 of 7 from the three-point line, and he had 20 points. I saw a stat. StatMuse put up a stat. He's missed his last 13 threes. He's shooting just under 21% from the three-point line. That's the worst percentage in the NBA for anybody who's attempted 50 or more threes. So Bron obviously struggling right now. I'm going to hope a lot of this is just based on he's not feeling good. You know, he was saying that he's been in bed a lot and he has not been able to go through his regular regimen. So we're just hoping that when the dust settles, Bron is back and Bron is playing better basketball. So that's going to be the hope. And I'll just tell you these last couple of games, he has not looked good at all. Somebody said excuses. True. Maybe I am making excuses. What else we got here? A lot of people coming after Anthony Davis, too. That was a quiet game for Anthony Davis, I'll tell you that. What AD end up with? I'm still in the Pelican highlights here. AD had, I think it was like 22 or something. I don't know what he had at halftime, but I swear he didn't have much in the second half. 22 points for AD, 8 rebounds. Those big men on the other side were giving it to the Lakers. Kelly Olynyk, Lauri Markkanen, like I mentioned. Some of those other dudes for the Utah Jazz, those big men were, what do you want? You want threes? You want to go down low and post? You know, somebody putting here AD silent numbers. I'm not disagreeing with that. I do think they were quiet, very quiet. So you got to be, I think in a game like this where you want a presence like Anthony Davis is just defensively dominating. But it's all these guys, you know, you got to do that you got to do that collectively, and the Lakers didn't do it. All right, let's see what else we got here. AD is a star, not a superstar. Where do we put superstar? Superstar what? Top 5 players in the league? Yeah, you might be right on that. He's not top 5 in the NBA, so if we're talking about that, then that's definitely different. AD should have had 40, but he's not in shape. I don't think shape's the issue. That's just I've said this to Travis when I do the morning show. I've just tapered down my expectations on Anthony Davis, because if I don't taper down my expectations, then I'll be disappointed. So I try to just taper it down. Allen, when we lose and give up 130 points at home, no roll call. Unbelievable. Unbelievable, these people here. By the way, I'm going to spend a quick second on this. If you guys like the channel, if you guys like what's going on here, if you guys can do me a favor, please subscribe to the channel. Please subscribe to the channel. It's quick. Takes a second. Quick little subscribe. Go right back to doing what you're doing on YouTube. All right, see what we got here. No tacos. Jazz, nice squad. Okay, this is what I'm going to get into right now. I'm going to look at the schedule here for a second. I'm going to give you guys the next 5 games for the Lakers, okay? Because what we are doing is going into dangerous territory. Somebody just subscribed. Thank you for subscribing. I appreciate that. We're going into dangerous territory. Let me tell you why we're going into dangerous territory. Now, I know what people are going to say. People are going to say that, by the way, no roll call tonight because the Lakers lost, but Rochester, New York, thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it, Rochester. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. But no freaking roll call. Okay, another thing I'm going to say here real quick. I know people are going to say, hey, Al, we are literally 2-6, 8 games in. Las Vegas, thank you for tuning in. San Pedro, I told you guys, no roll call, okay? No roll call. But because we are 2-6, this is why it becomes a little bit dangerous, Laker fans. You lose your next 2 games, which you can certainly lose your next 2 games. Here's where the Lakers are their next 2 games. They got the Cleveland Cavaliers, who have 1 loss on the season, who've won 7 games in a row, are playing fantastic basketball. That's coming up at 12:30 on Sunday, okay? The very next day, you're at Utah, the team that just put up 130 on you, and you know they're getting ready and excited to play you when that happens. Salt Lake City, South Pasadena, I appreciate you guys being a part of the show, but no roll call tonight, Laker fans. No roll call. No roll call. So you got 2 games right there. You could be within your first 10 games, their first 10 games. Some of these people are really funny. You could be 2-8, Laker fans. You could be 2-8 in your first 10 games. Minneapolis, thank you for being a part of the show. If you go 2-8 in your first 10 games, and then you, let's just say in your next 10 games after that, you go 4-6. You'll be 6-14 through 20 games. That's the type of hole the Lakers are digging for themselves. You know, I remember before the season started. I said something to the effect of, you were trying to find the games that you think the Lakers, okay, hey, Portland, yeah, they should be good there against Portland. Utah, okay, that should be 2 games there that the Lakers win. These games don't look like that anymore. So what you once thought was, and this is maybe just the NBA, but what you once thought was, hey, you know what, I think that's going to be a W. That has not been the case. Now, granted, the Lakers, they did beat Denver. They did beat the Pelicans, so I didn't think that was going to happen. I thought at least, you know, at best they'd split those 2 games, but you've already kind of dug yourself a little bit of a hole here. So Lakers got some ground to make up, and it's not going to get any easier. Let's see what we got here. Read a couple more of these comments, and then I'm going to get the hell out of here. Okay? Alan, what happened to us? I don't know. Nobody knows anymore. No roll call Philippines. That's creative. I like that. I respect that right there. Talk about Nunn. What do you want me to talk about with Kendrick Nunn? There's freaking nothing to talk about with Kendrick Nunn. Nothing. Literally nothing to talk about with that dude. I was getting excited about Kendrick Nunn. I thought in preseason we're walking away and thinking this guy might get some opportunities. You know how many minutes he played tonight, Laker fans? He played 1 freaking minute. And I'm not even, upset at the coach for playing him a minute. I literally thought that Kendrick Nunn might be one of those players. I'm a bucket getter. I come off the bench and I go to work, and that has not been the case at all. So you look at some of the personnel for the Lakers right now, the guys are really depending on. I think Troy Brown Jr. is doing a better job than I thought he would. Lonnie Walker is definitely doing a better job than I thought he would. But a lot of these other guys, the Kendrick Nunn piece that I thought was going to be a player that would contribute, that dude has not contributed nothing this year. So that part's been kind of tough to swallow. Okay, my final thoughts here real quick. Russ, fantastic game, great. Love to see what he's doing off the bench. Bron, he's struggling. He has not looked good in these last couple of games. He's got some work to do. Anthony Davis, those numbers are there, but I just don't feel those. I don't feel the presence of those numbers. I thought tonight he was okay. Nothing special at all. Lakers defense, you give up 130 points, you're not winning any games. So they got to get much better by the time they play the Utah Jazz. They only got 36 hours to figure it out. You can't start the season. You can. You're already 2-6. So Lakers obviously digging themselves a hole. Appreciate you guys being a part of the show. Tomorrow I will be doing nothing. I will be chilling tomorrow. Maybe watch some World Series, watch some college football. But I'll be chilling tomorrow. Back on Sunday. For the Lakers, Utah Jazz, and we'll do the post-game after the post-game. Thank you for being a part of the show, Laker fans. Really appreciate it. Hope you guys have a good night, and we'll get back with you guys on Sunday. Subscribe to the damn channel. Thank you, Laker fans. Appreciate it.